Hey guys, my name is George. Welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, and today we are heading to Dres. I had recorded a little bit earlier, but it took me so long to get this freaking encounter. I've probably been going for about 20 minutes, just not worth it. So I stopped, and then I thought that as soon as I got the encounter, I would pick back up. So we have our burn in just a couple minutes here. Well, 2 hours, but obviously I'm going to time accelerate. Anyway, um, yeah, it was just the placement of where I started from and where Dres was just really sucky. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna orient ourselves. This is the craft that is getting us there. We've got about half of a fuel tank left in those side tanks, and then we're going to jettison those, and then we've got these two middle ones, so it'll be nice and full when we're ready to go. So, time accelerate a little bit more. It's going to be a long burn. So we're going to just start, let's go ahead and start now. So yeah, big burn. So, we're heading to Dres. I know that in the last episode I was talking about how it would be in the future, or maybe that was the episode before that. I forget. Anyway, I was thinking about it. I was deciding what to do for this episode, and I decided that since I said that we were going to go when we did our first mission to the moon, that I should go ahead and do it. So, I went through and I revised my design, added more fuel, tried to get things more efficient, and now we've got this bad boy. What I've done is I was missing enough fuel to really slow down, so I added a bunch of these. There's 8 going around it. These are the separatrons, and these are what are going to give us about another 100 meters per second delta V. And that is what really gets it, and then we can use this last little tank to get us down to the surface. And yeah, all should be good. Alright, we're about a minute into our burn now. Doing good. Let's see how these tanks are going. They're going fine. We'll probably end up jettisoning them as we're here, or during this burn. We might have a little bit left, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna lose them. Anyway, so yeah, it was a pain in the butt to get this encounter right here. Just a crappy time. I had to stop. I started listening to stuff on iTunes as I was going. Yeah, just took forever. I eventually had to use a bunch of our fuel to get ourselves in the same inclination as Dres. Normally that's something I would do out here, but seeing as how I couldn't get anything, I just decided to match myself with its orbit and get ourselves on a nice and straight path to Dres. So it looks like this periaps that we got here is about 2 million, which isn't bad. Is not bad. Could be better, but it isn't bad. And that's just with what we've got right now. So let's take a look. Oh, these are just about gone. Just double checking, making sure that's what's next. Doing a quick save. And they're out, and they're gone. Alright. This burn is going to take even longer. Huh. Looks like we're going to be sitting here for a minute. Another 4. Anyway, so while that's going, keep an eye on it over here. I was wondering what we could do for the next few missions. I thought about sending something out to Jewel. Thought about sending... I've never even seen Elu before. I don't like to go and do the previews of what they look like. I like to go there and see them. But anyway, I know what it looks like just from other videos that I've seen, but I've never actually seen it in my game. So that would be somewhere cool to go, but I think what might be cool is to send one big mission that can send tiny probes everywhere in the system. This would be a pretty big rocket. We'd have something go to Eve, we'd have something go to Moho, and so obviously this would be something that we would have to build in space. You just can't launch something that big from the launch pad. You have to dock and do things like that. And luckily, if we're going to do it with probes, then it shouldn't be too big of a problem. To get all that stuff hooked together, and then we won't have to deal with a lot of weight going on the connections, because when you have a lot of weight and you fire a rocket against somewhere that you're docked, it can bend and wobble and cause all sorts of problems. But when that mainly happens when you have a capsule, because capsules are obviously much heavier than than what I'm trying to say. The probes. The probes. Probes are obviously much lighter, much more simple. So I was thinking we could send a cluster to Jewel because it has tons of moons. We'll send something, maybe a lander to Elu. Don't know if we'll go to Drez. Drez is fairly uninteresting. It's not really that big of a deal if we get to Drez. It's just a big asteroid, basically. But at the same time, we'd send something into Eve and something into Moho. So I think that's something that we'll do in the future. I want to get some practice just getting out to things like Elu and things like that. I've been to Jewel before. It's not too hard to get to Jewel. While I was actually doing this, I would try to just accelerate a ton and on our way back catch Drez. And a couple times I actually got encounters with Jewel, and I actually considered making this a Jewel mission. So, but in the end, we're heading to Drez, and we're just about done with our burn. Yeah. This was a big pain in the butt. Anyway, there's our rover that we landed on Duna Probe 1, whatever. Yeah. You might have seen some junk around Eve. I think we're gonna head there next episode. Send something similar to what we're sending now, and go take a look at Eve, and then I might attach another probe to that rocket and get something to land on Gilly, Eve's moon. Alright, there was our encounter. There it is. Fix that with RCS. Oh, broke it again. There we go. Very touchy. Anyway, we now have our encounter. We've got tons of fuel, and it actually takes quite a bit of fuel to get away from the escape velocity of Drez. I added those two side rockets because when I tried this before, I would always run out of fuel whilst getting around Drez. Well, trying to get into orbit around Drez, I would run out of fuel in my nuclear rocket. So, off we head. Those guys have been on the moon for I don't know how long. We should probably go and get them. I'm sure they don't like it up there. Just a bunch of gray dirt. And look at what we're doing now, heading to Dres. Basically a bunch of dark gray dirt. Very interesting. Yeah. Anyway. Man, I really need to clean up all that debris. It's funny, because a lot of it is just fuel tanks from going to the moon. And, when I go to the moon, I try to get my periaps as low as possible. And I end up having, items that are cast away from Kerbin by the moon's gravity. And those fuel tanks are not able to slow down in time. So that's a lot of it. So here's some Dreslander debris from earlier. Oh, those are our fuel tanks from earlier. Let's turn off the RCS. Do another quick save, and then keep going. Painstakingly slow process this. This thing here, still not getting much further when it comes to actually seeing how far away it is. Not going to try to adjust, we're just going to take our encounter that we have here. Just going to go for it. Looks like we're heading further away than Dres, and Dres is going to catch up to us. Alright. Slow that down. And just about. Alright. Let's take a look at this planet. You can see it right there. Actually, I don't know if you guys can see it, because it's pretty dark, and this is something that I wanted to bring up in the past couple episodes, but I keep forgetting. Let me know if they're too dark, because when I looked at the video, it's actually a lot darker, and the colors are a lot more saturated than in the actual game. I can see this side pretty well. I can see most of the details. So if you guys can't see the details, I don't know. Let me know, and I can fix it. I can increase the brightness in the game, or I can do it in Windows Movie Maker. That's what I've been using to edit my videos. So, yeah, just let me know. So we're going to point ourselves retrograde, and let's just time accelerate, get us to our periaps. So yeah, again, if it's too saturated and just too dark that you guys can't see, just let me know, and I'll try to get it to a point that is better for you guys. Alright, we need to start early. 15 minutes? Not quite that early. We're not going to do a 15-minute burn. Let's start like 5 minutes early. Alright, good enough. Just gonna full throttle it. Just keep an eye on that. It's funny when you think about it. It seems like we're passing Dres and we're trying to slow ourselves down to get close to it, but in reality, Dres is passing us and we're trying to speed up. So if you see, we're heading this way, and Dres is going there faster than us because you can see if we were to stop, this is our orbit and Dres will be fast enough to where we keep going out. So we're actually trying to accelerate so that Dres will stay next to us. Not seeing much change there. Doing great on fuel. So there's the planet. Right there, just a big hunk of rock that's spinning and orbiting. Alright, let's see how we're doing now. Starting to get a bit more of a curve here. You can really start to tell how well you're doing with how fast this number starts to go up. This is the T minus 10 hours, 34, now up to 40. That's when we would leave Dres's sphere of influence, and if that starts to go faster and faster, that means it's that means you're slowing down quite a bit. The amount that you're slowing down is increasing relative to the planet. So you'll see it's counting up much faster now. That's how you know you're getting close. Oh, there it goes. It's starting to move over a bit. Alright, we're going at about 650-ish meters per second relative to Dres. Looks like we're going to be ending up in quite the wonky orbit. We might have enough fuel to fix it, but we might not need to. If we can find a cool spot to land, maybe out here. I don't know how fast Dres spins, but if we could get... Ooh, that canyon's pretty cool. It's heading into the night side though. Just want to land as soon as possible. Right, this fuel tank's almost done. So you see what I mean by how we need to start early. Our periaps is actually getting further away from us, so that's good. Alright, we're at 21 hours. You can see it's increasing much faster now. Just looking for that. Need to start to curve around. Slowly, but it's getting there. It only takes 150 to 200 meters per second to be in orbit around Dres, so we're getting close. It'll really start to move here in just a second. And there that thing goes. Almost at 500 million miles. Whoa. That's really far. Or 500 million meters. Alright, here we go. We have our orbit around Dres. Now it's best to fix this wonkiness, I think, from further away, and it looks like we have enough fuel to fix it. But if we go down, let's see here. if we look at what's directly above that, let's fix it a little bit. We don't need to do too much, but it's good to do a bit. Right, we're going to slow ourselves down a little bit more, and then we're going to fix it. Just try to circularize this orbit. There we go. Let's accelerate a little bit more. Get this thing not be shaking around all the time. Right. 964, whatever, close enough. Let's see. It's gonna be about here. How to maneuver. Alright. That needs to be fixed. That's weird. I'm just gonna set... Let's just go to here. And we're just gonna burn south. There is south. I missed it. Did I? No, I didn't. Right? I don't know. Yep, that was it. Okay. Doi. For some reason I thought the opposite of the 90 was the 180. I know math. Alright. Alright, and cut it. That'll do. Right. Gotta head to our periaps. And burn retrograde. And on this next pass around, we are going to head in for our landing. Let's get ourselves nice and low. We don't want to start our descent from really, really high up. So that's about 27K. That'll be great. Let's try and land about there. Alright, we've reached our limit on time acceleration. And then while we're here, let's turn ourselves around, and then while we're burning, let's take a look nice and close of the planet. Sorry again, I'm still sick. I just noticed I've sniffed quite a bit this episode. Still kinda sick. My apologies. There's that surface. I don't know if that's not renderedness or if it's all stripy like that. Kind of paintbrushy. I'm assuming it just hasn't rendered yet. And this is the low res stuff. Okay. We are now on a crash course with the planet. Alright. We cut that there. And we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna be done with this. We do have fuel, but we don't need it. So we're just going to go ka-chunk. We don't want any waste garbage floating around. I've already got enough in space as it is. And then we're going to activate this engine. Alright, it's good. And we're going to start to head in on our descent. Do a quick save. So yeah, these little Separatrons are going to give us that extra kick that we need. Might not need, but it's really useful. Okay, we're going to go ahead, and we're getting past mountainous regions now. So we're going to hit those retro rockets. Why does this not want to go? Right? Alright. Get our landing gear. These things might be a little bit overkill, but when in doubt. I actually used those Separatrons. I haven't lately, but I use them to deorbit things. If I just have debris, I'll just put a bunch of these on them. If I have a big tank or something like that, and I just don't want to deal with the junk flying around. I will just put a bunch of these on, pointing back up at our craft. Might not be safe, but whatever. And that normally does the trick. Probably not the most efficient way to land. We're doing a lot of stop and go. Alright. We can no longer time accelerate. And haven't been able to for a while. So yeah. I told you guys we would go to Dres, and I felt bad for not doing it. So we're doing it. And here we are on our final descent. Getting close, don't know how close though. Just gonna look for that. Where's the sun? Right above us and a bit over here, so we're gonna be looking about this way for that shadow. One thing I wanted to mention, in the 0.19 update, they're gonna add the fireball effect of objects falling through an atmosphere. So when that comes out, I think we're gonna do something kind of spectacular to celebrate the release of 0.19. Alright, still not seeing. There's the shadow. Alright, slowly. Bit more thrust. Bit less thrust. Bit less. Bit more. Bit more. Yeah. Bit less. And good. Shit, nice and easy. Don't. Oh, starting to hover. Okay, and cut the engine. Alright, here we are. Oh, I should have put these retracted. Whoops. That could have been bad had I been a little more irresponsible. Anyway, let's turn on all of our devices, communications. Probably could have turned that on earlier. Temperature. It's deciding. I guess it's getting colder. I guess. That's weird. Right at 1. So gonna go lower? No? Alright. Graviola detector. Accelerometer. 0.11 Gs. And then, I'm pretty sure I don't need this, because it measures atmosphere, and atmosphere, I can speak, it measures atmospheric pressures, and I don't think there's an atmosphere here, because there's the sun, and we can still see stars with relative ease, even though we shouldn't be able to in real life. Those stars should not be there. Anyway, my name's George. We did it. What was that? Did anybody else see that flicker over there? I wonder what that is. Oh, I'm seeing multiple flickers. Oh. Cool. It's boring and glittery. Anyway, thanks for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe if you hasn't already. I swear I can talk. If you haven't already. And, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.